back up? Okay. We're back in session at 3:20. Sorry for the interruption. We had that little disconnect with the internet we had to go through. Again, I was basically through with this sheet, just trying to show you that in comparable counties, I feel like we're doing a good job as far as trying to keep our costs down and our tax rates down. The population growth through the time from 2010 to 2020, we grew 13,827 people, which is about a 16.1% increase over 10 years. In 2020, we were at 99,956. The estimated population January 1st, 24 is 118,717, which is 18.8% increase, which is about 4.5% a year. And that makes us the 5th fastest growing county in the state. Kaufman County's number 1, Rockwall's number 3, we're number 5. So the 5 of the top fastest growing counties were adjacent to all of them. So, breakdown of the inflation rates through the last 5 years. We all experienced in our household. COVID was really rough, I think, on all of us, and it drove prices through the roof. Government spending sent everything skyrocketing, but over that time, it's been a 5.2% average, which is really, to all of us, not just government, but to our households and all, it's been a loss of purchasing power by 4.2%. And then you add that to a 4.5% growth rate, we've been under a lot of pressure to try to keep a budget balanced and keep everything moving the way it should. So this year is a proposed tax rate of 0.339824, which is 1.6 cents more than last year. And so the example we're given is in the yellow is if approved at that rate on an average price home of $282,731, it'll be a $46.64 increase. And some of the things that the county, does is you can see road and bridge maintenance, law enforcement, prosecution, incarceration, homeland security, health department, veteran services, voter registration and elections, vital records management, and other services, including our IT departments and our HR department and 911 and multiple other facilities that are all support services to make the government work. And all of these are, they're all service business. Everything up there, we're serving the public doing those things. And the proposed tax rate, our goals we set out was to help growing concerns needs for the growth of Hunt County. We want to strengthen law enforcement services by adding 4 additional requested law enforcement positions and to provide a balanced budget for future growth. We've, since 2020, when COVID hit, since every year but one over the last 5 years, we've been at no new revenue rate. And with that, we've had a deficit budget, including last year. Well, all the deficit budget does for us is, we had the reserves. Part of that started out of COVID because we were like everybody else. We didn't get to spend all our budget because, we couldn't buy cars. We couldn't get repairs made around the courthouse or any buildings. So many things that we had budgeted for that we couldn't do, that when we became able to start doing it again, we kept our tax rate low so that we could pay back to the taxpayers. We didn't want to tax them again for money that we didn't spend. So the theory and philosophy at the time was, let's don't go back. Let's spend the money down that we got extra because of the just the circumstances of that time. And we've come through that now for a number of years, and now we got to a point, you know, we raise our budget up, then we cover it with the deficit budget, which comes out of our reserves. But then when we get our growth in new taxes, that's just covering last year's in a lot of cases. So we're not ever getting ahead. Some point in time, we got to get ahead. We got to get back to a balanced budget so that as we grow, we can just grow with the growth of the county. If we can get to where we not have to cover previous year's expenses, we can get it to where we're level this year. The growth pattern, if it stays the same, we should be able to, that should cover most of any things that we need going forward further. I would think, I mean, most of them we're getting 3 or 4 million in new money every year. That ought to carry most of everything we need to do for most years. Business, you know, you have economies of scale. I talk about economy of scales. I learned that when I was in my business. You get up to a certain, you work hard, you're trying to make more money, and you grow and you grow, and you're not making any more money, and then you hit a spot and you start making a lot of money, and you, oh, this is great, I'm gonna grow again. You take off growing again. Well, you don't make any more money because there's these sweet spots where you're staffed correctly, your expenses are correct, and the revenue is making you more money than if you go up higher, because you're all the growth, just what we're in. When you grow, it consumes cash. And so we're in one of those growth spurts, but we may be hitting, to me, it looks like we're hitting a place, maybe we're at that perfect spot where maybe we can stay there a while. It's harder in government because in my business, I could raise prices to not get jobs. You know, I could turn down jobs, whatever, to keep my business where I needed it to be. Up here, we have to take whatever comes at us. If people are coming, developers are coming in building houses, we have to deal with it. So it's a little, to me, it's going to be a little harder road to go down, but that's why I feel like a balanced budget is so important that we get to it as soon as we can. And last slide again is just to reiterate what the proposed tax rate would cost on an average tax home. I know there's not a lot of information, went through it quick, I only had today to get it put together. I'm going to give out more information in later meetings as the budget goes forward, but I did want to try to get a little bit of information out since the budget is out. Hopefully people will listen. If they got questions, they can sure contact me or somebody else and get the answers they need. But I'm hoping the court will go along with me and try to get us on the right foot. So Commissioners, you got any questions? Y'all got any comments? I guess there's none. Public, y'all got any comments? Being none, I'll enter. What?
Judge, so what's our timeline from here forward?
Well, we can't get anything in the paper until Thursday. If we're lucky, we can get it put together and get it in Thursday. That puts us more than 10 days into, it gets us into September because it has to be published for 10 days. So it changes our publication of some wording that we have to put in that publication after new law effective September 1. So to approve the budget after September 1, we'll have to work to get that information put on in the paper. So it'll be the first week of September will be the first time that we can meet and take action of voting for tax rate or approving the budget. So we've got 2 weeks probably at least. If y'all want to have another meeting this week on Friday, we can post and have one Friday. Just talk about any concerns. Think gives you a little bit more time. I know nobody's had time really to study it since Friday. But if y'all want to come back in Friday, we can, or we can do it on next Monday's regular session, or we can schedule some meetings next week at y'all's pleasure. I'll be happy to meet anytime y'all desire to meet.
Also, I know you said that you just put this together today, but can y'all send out these slides to us as
Sure.
well, please?
Bernice, yeah, Bernice, she got it on her computer. She can send it out.
Judge, I'm good for Friday, but Monday, I'm out of the office Monday. I've
Okay.
got some,
I think you meant for Tuesday.
or
Tuesday's our regular meeting, so we might as
Okay.
well wait till Tuesday.
Yeah,
But
Tuesday be-
if you wanted one Friday, we can. If you don't,
I'll just let, no, mainly I'm not gonna be around. Monday.
it's up to y'all. I don't care.
Tuesday works for me. I'm out of the office Friday.
Okay?
Tuesday.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll have plenty of time to discuss it, and y'all can look it over, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday, and then we'll probably go ahead, since we're gonna need to take action on it the following, or try to take action on it the following week. Would y'all be open next week, later in the week, for a couple of more meetings if we need them?
Other than not being available this Friday, I'm open.
Okay. David, you here every day but Monday?
Yeah, other than Monday.
All good.
Same.
Okay.
Judge, I did want to clarify, on the estimated revenues, we got an email this morning from the tax assessor's office, and they were concerned about the revenue calculations, that they might have been estimating more revenue than we taken in reality. Have you been able to look over that?
I briefly looked at it, but what they're looking at is not what we've ever used, not what Brent South's always told us that that's what the state says it is. What they're looking at is in a lower calculation of value for the no new revenue rate. So if it was really what we were being taxed, it wouldn't be at the tax rate this year. So that was a deduction, that number got a deduction down to a lower rate to calculate the no new revenue rate. So the section where it really sets the value is in the first section where it says, I didn't bring it with me, but you come by the office, I'll be happy to show it to you. But it's the same, we were using the same number we always have. I don't know why they think that one in the no new revenue is the one we have to use.
Okay.
But
Mark, is that the
Figure it
email we
out.
got at 1 o'clock today? Roughly from,
yeah, it was later, but Bernice, what, yeah.
Yes, correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
if we can get some answers on that, because I've got it as well, and it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're working off the right.
We're,
number.
well, yeah, we better be.
And then the numbers that we got Friday, we need to make sure those are correct numbers as well.
In the
That's
bu,
for the- Yeah,
in the budget,
the budget, the proposed budget that we got
Right.
emailed Friday afternoon.
right. We've had a few calls, few emails where, we got some explaining to do and some things where we put it in an incorrect way. There's some new law for all the courts and all the prosecutors, so we're trying to get those straightened out. We misinterpreted it. It's not a lot of money. We just got it interpreted a little different, so we got to straighten that out a little bit. But if, we'll try to get an answer in the morning and send an email out to let you know whether we got the right value or not. But in reading it and looking at it and what we've done every year, that's the same way it's been interpreted every year. And so keep you posted. Any other questions? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned at 3:33. Thank y'all.